you make your picks. I know this isn't the typical venue, but I bet even here at the world's premier sports analytics conference, people are still using their hunch, asking their friends, or maybe following a tout. Now, I hope no one here follows a tout, but that's the same way we've done betting for 150 years. We know this because in Casey at the bat, they said we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. This was in 1888, and it's literally a person saying, my gut tells me he's going to get the hit, so I'm going to live bet it, which is the same thing happening today. But that was then, this is now. Our world is immensely more complex and quantified. We have next-gen stats, we have player-level tracking data, we have PFF grading every player on every play, but we still ask our friend who they have tonight. At Rithmm, we're taking betting from the 19th century to the 21st century by giving advanced analytics to individual sports bettors. Now, let me be clear, I don't blame anyone asking their friends for who they have tonight. Building analytical models is hard and time-consuming. You have to scrape the data, you have to cleanse the data, you have to pick the right model for the situation. You have to do feature engineering, you have to train your model, optimize it for the use case, you have to have a live odds feed, and get expected value on all those odds every single day. On top of that, you're supposed to have a job, you're supposed to have family and maybe a social life. It's too much for most people. But that's how the betting syndicates win. They have their own PhD statisticians, they have their own software engineers making their software so that they can have an advantage on every game. It's also how the books maintain their advantage. They have live data feeds going to their analysts so that they can set and move the lines appropriately. They know when bets come in, is that person sharp or are they following a tout? At Rithmm, we do the analysis for you. The user weighs the feature according to their instincts and experience, and we create a personalized predictive model based off of those preferences. We do the hard work so you don't have to. In about 10 seconds, we take a personalized training set and make a bespoke model for you, and then compare that to every open line, telling you the predicted score, the win rate of that bet, and what the edge is on the over implied market odds. From there, a user can track their bets, analyze model performance over time, and have a data-backed approach to making their bets. In a single app, bettors can operate on an even playing field with the betting syndicates and the sports books by using Rithmm as their team of PhD and engineer. As a Rithmm user, I'll be one of your PhDs. I'm a trained probabilistic engineer who spent 10 years doing jet engine reliability work. Before coming to Rithmm, I was the commander at the Air Force's premier software development team called Kessel Run right here in Boston. My co-founder is a successful CEO who just led her last company to an exit of over $600 million. She can't be here right now because she's actually, and before that she was a Division I basketball coach, and she can't be here because she's actually inducting a former player into the Missouri Valley Conference Hall of Fame. Our third co-founder is a guerrilla marketing specialist and former college athlete as well. We've taken an idea from a basement bar and built an early proof of concept and built over 2 years of data to show that that concept works. A year ago, we were able to use that early data from the proof of concept to secure pre-seed funding from the same folks that gave pre-seed funding to DraftKings. This is Boston Seed, Accomplice, and Counterview. They've been amazing partners along our journey. But over those last 9 months, we've been able to develop an MVP for college football and college basketball. With only about 10K in marketing spend, we've gotten 2,000 users who have tracked on the platform 27,714 bets with a win rate of 53.6%. They have a positive ROI overall when the market average is losing the 4.5% hold. And it's been great to help those first 2,000 users, but the market potential is so much better. There's 33 million core bettors. We consider a core bettor to be someone who bets every week or is already paying for stats and analysis. There's an additional 19 million casual bettors who bet the NCAA tournament, the Super Bowl, or other single events. But the big opportunity is with the increasing of the regulated market, there's another 48 million core bettors coming into the market, which will eventually lead to the growth of the US alone being about 30 billion in 2030. So how are we going to capture a significant part of that market? Well, first of all, our primary model is subscription-based. User interviews have shown that willingness to pay is directly correlated to their betting unit size, and this makes sense. If we win them one extra bet a month, that's what they're willing to pay. Our interviews also show that there are two primary tiers of users. One is an entry-level user, we'll call them Action Alex. They want to be in the action, they're following people on Reddit, they're following their friends right now, but want to originate through Rithmm just so they can be the ones that other people are following and have that clout. The other tier of user is Modeling Matt. This person has generally tried to do data scraping already. They've tried to build an Excel model and are unhappy with either their technical training ability or the time it takes to do. And they're looking for a deeper way to have modeling. They'll get greater flexibility in the model creation, greater insights into the data at that higher tier of $99 a month. But there's another reason why we have a high willingness to pay, and that's because users really love our platform. Our data right now shows that we have 5.1 engaged sessions per week per user. In addition to that, the session length is between 25 and 30 minutes a session. That opens the door for B2B as well, whether it's affiliate marketing, advertising, or merchandising media interactions as well. But because our core is subscription, we need to keep adding value to our user. We came out with college football and college basketball as a MVP so we could do rapid design iterations before going to the sharper markets. We're ready now. In a couple of weeks, we're coming out with the NBA. We'll have WNBA to cover over the summer, and then our full launch of our product with paid tiers will be in NFL later this fall. We're freeing bettors from that 19th century mentality, and rather than having to trust their gut, they can trust AI models that they themselves have control over and understand. Rithmm users can come out of the joyless days of Mudville and start having a smarter betting approach. And in fact, Casey was at best a 340 hitter, and an even money bet on them was negative expected value. And as we all know, Casey struck out. But you don't have to strike out. Download Rithmm today and take your betting into the 21st century. Thank you.
Great presentation, thanks.
Thank you.
I'm curious how you're thinking about customer acquisition as you think about scaling up. Like what channels have worked so far and how do you want to go find your customer?
Yeah, that's a great question. So far, we've done limited advertising. Like I said, our total marketing spend is about $10K. What has been effective is digital marketing has been very effective. So we're working with folks to expand that. One of the barriers there is Google requires an affiliate relationship to expand out your digital marketing, and we've begun that process to get the licensed affiliate marketing. We've also started a campus ambassador program. What we found is that there's a large social betting experience on college campuses with the expansion of regulated market, and getting folks on campus to bring their friends in and have a social experience around this has been very effective as well.
As you tell me, I want to learn more about the product itself. So as you think about moving from that core user to the more casual that you just described on college campuses, as an example, what is the survey experience, the 10-second questions that you mentioned, and like what are the inputs to this product, and how is that serving the customer eventually?
Yeah, the input into the building a model right now is we have those 5 features listed. So for college basketball, for example, it's offense, defense, three-pointers, fouls, and tempo. And the user puts in which of those they feel is most important. And what we found is most users are building 2 or 3 models that represent different game states. So they may say, I want one model that is high tempo, three-pointers, and high offense that represent a high-paced scoring game. But they'll also have one that emphasizes fouls and defense. So that can be more of representing a team that may run a Princeton offense or a slower paced game. So now you have models that represent different game states, and when they look at their bets, they can say, does my mental model match that this game will play out per this model, and I can trust it more or not? And in addition to that, as we go down the line, we want to have a leaderboard where you can see other people's models, because even that initial simple UI is too much for some very entry-level bettors. And they just want to tail someone, but our platform would say, these are the models other people have had. When you track a bet on the platform, it's immutable, so you know people aren't manipulating their record, and then you can tail them and understand their model, and that will help build that comfort for you to practice on your own.
That's like when I follow fantasy football and just have the computer pick. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that was my question as an athlete. I have no experience, so I would say I'm an inexperienced bettor. So I appreciate the opportunity to tail smart people as I'm sitting in this room. Does anybody in the crowd have any questions? I think this would be a good opportunity to open up as well. No? All right, well, anybody got anything else?
No.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.